Hi, Kirk. How you doing?
Doing great, thank you.
Um, you guys were so notable for what big play capability you had, but of course you had Ottman, Bell, and Johnson and Bateman, and a terrific quarterback who found them. You guys had 29 TD passes just to the wideouts last year. Penn State had 13. Is that simply a function of the personnel, or is this something you can do to give Penn State more of a downfield big play capability?
Well, explosive plays are important, right? When you're looking at statistics, we've got all these statistical people out there. I've always believed that, the turnover margin and explosive plays are really, really important. Um, and I think that one of the key things that I do is not necessarily the exact play that I call at the exact time, but how do we decide who the ball is trying to get directed to? Who are we trying to allow to give opportunities to influence the game, and I think every offense is a little bit different. That just happened to be who my playmakers were, who my best players were on the team at Minnesota. So it was kind of directed that way. But every offense is different. And, next this season at Minnesota, it'll be a little different. And, just like this season at Penn State's going to be different than last season, not just because I'm here, right? The players are different. The offensive unit is different and their strengths and weaknesses. So, but explosive plays are very important. I believe that from a philosophical standpoint. So we've got to make sure that we find a way to create explosive plays. And part of, creating explosive plays is executing. Like if we're not making first downs, we're not going to run enough plays to create the explosive plays that we need.
Thanks, Kurt.
You're welcome.
Audrey Snyder, go ahead.
Kirk, one of the things that James Franklin has said over the years with different coaches is that, some coaches are more night owls, some are early risers, and that can be a challenge when game planning. And James is an early guy. How do you factor into that? Are you a morning person, or when do you do your best work?
I'm definitely a morning guy.
Okay.
It's my strength. At night, as the evening wears on, there'll be a lot of times where I'm not going to make a decision on something yet. I'm going to sleep. I'll tell the guys I'm going to sleep on this. And usually I get up early in the morning, and when I think about it at that point, it usually comes to me a lot clearer exactly what we should do. And by the time they get in, I say, hey, this is what we're doing and this is why, and let's rock and roll with it. But it's funny that we talked about that in the interview process too. I said, are you a night owl or are you a morning riser, early guy? And he goes, oh, I'm an early morning guy. I was like, perfect. Me too. So.
Go ahead, Rich Scarcella.
Hey, Kirk, thanks for your time. I apologize if you addressed this earlier, but since we talked in the spring, how has your relationship evolved with Sean, and in what specific ways or what specific things have you seen him make progress?
I think my relationship with Sean is just continuing to grow every day. I don't think we had any problem connecting, which is the first thing about a relationship. There has to be some type of connection there, or there's not really going to ever be a relationship. So we connected early on, and it's continuing to grow every day. I think he's improved in every area. I feel like, but I think maybe probably the biggest growth that he's made, because we spent so much time meeting, right, and talking about this process, this pre-snap thinking that we want to do, and applying it to the plays. And I think that probably he's really been able to see, since we've started to go here again,